For example, in her light is going to be a presence, probably in the cheer community. I know in our cheer gym for sure, but in the cheer community for a long time.
A tragedy occurred last week in Las Vegas when a Utah mother and daughter were found dead in a hotel room.
Local police are calling it a murder-suicide. The two were in town for a cheer competition. For more on this, we're chatting with Emerson with Criminally Obsessed once again. Ann, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is such a disturbing and sad story here. I mean, let's go over the basics. What can you talk about with us?
Well, I think we're starting to learn more. It is so heartbreaking. You know, I was a dance mom with my teenage girl, and I know how close these communities are and how devastating this must be for everyone, especially when you have such a small child involved. We had a mother-daughter that the little girl was just 11 years old. They were at a cheer competition in Vegas, which was probably just the biggest event in this young little girl's life. And they had been there, and what we understand is that they were called, a welfare check was called in the morning. The police went to go check on them. Nobody answered. But of course, they're in a hotel room in Vegas. They could have gone and gotten breakfast or coffee, whatever. They decide to leave, and they come back later in the afternoon and they discover the bodies. Yeah. And what we know is that there was a note left. So what is so disturbing is I think that this mom had been involved in a very lengthy custody battle over.
Yeah, this had been going on for a long time, and it was bitter, and they kept, I guess, altering the conditions of visitation. And I think the most recent part of it was they had alternating weeks of custody, right?
Yes, but it looks like she lost custody for a long time because it was such a nasty custody battle going on. I mean, from what I understand, once they did allow her to have custody again, that they actually said that you're going to have to, exchange those custody weeks at a school, or even have to go to the police station if school's not in session, and you have to park 5 parking spaces from each other. That's how difficult I think it shows the relationship was between the mom and dad in this situation. So it is heartbreaking that this little girl got in the middle of it.
I mean, certainly these things, I wouldn't call them common, but it's not the only case we've heard like this of custody disputes leading to tragic outcomes like this.
Not at all. And, you know, it really, we've just been dealing with a case, as you know, out of Utah, where a dad has been having to track down his children that had been allegedly abducted and taken into Croatia. I was following that case for quite some time, where they've just been able to track down the mom and where the children are. You know, these custody battles are hit new levels sometimes, and this is just one of those things that it is so tragic, especially as we see the pictures of this beautiful little girl and know that she was at a place that she was so happy. And that is what I think is breaking everybody's heart. And I'm sure the cheer community where you are right now in Utah is really suffering and grieving over this loss.
Have we been able to dig deeper into the mom and maybe what was going on with her half of the problems in this marriage and the custody battle? Were there some warning signs about her?
Well, I think the biggest warning sign is that they had to take away custody to some degree from her, that she wasn't allowed to hold on to her, that whatever was being said behind closed doors between the mom and dad was so difficult that it was being called domestic abuse, according to the papers that we saw that were filed, because, you know, your sister station, KSNV down in Las Vegas, has been looking into this since this happened in their backyard at the Rio Hotel, and it appears that this custody battle just hit a new high. Now, what has happened between 2024, when she was able to regain that custody, and now, that's what authorities really need to take a good look at. I also have heard from the reporting that's been going on the ground in Vegas that that it's believed that it was actually the father who called the welfare check, and that there was a suicide note left behind. So there is no justification, but maybe we can find out what was going through her mind a little bit more if the father chooses to divulge that. I think it could help in other situations.
All right, Ann Emerson with Criminally Obsessed, thank you for chatting with us this morning about 2 different cases. We appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ann. We'll see you later.